YouTube start. There we go. Hello, everybody. Let's try that again. Let's gouge pose.
But T-pose is so much better than the T-pose.
Yes, it is. But we have a curious cat to talk to. Hello, curious cat.
Is that anything like a Curious George?
Maybe. We will see. Long hasn't been. I think I'm
true.
Even though it's technically male, I mean, look at this thing.
I know.
Hello, Doodles.
That
hello,
head
Uppy.
outmasses the rest of the body by a factor of 3.
Yes, it does.
Hey, Doodles. Hey, Octi.
Long has it been since my paws have trodden autumn but curious decks. Would that I have made landfall under better circumstances. He is a very curious cat. Deckhand.
Me poor heart. 'Tis a pity about the loot and no mistake. But at least we made it out in one piece. As the captain is so fond of saying, you can't spend it when you're dead.
Good words.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be spending it while he's dead, though.
What kind of cat is that anyway? What was it doing on that ship?
Now, there's a good question.
Leo Ford? No, not Marshmallow. Leo Ford.
It was a bit touch and go in places, I'll grant you. But here we all are, and with our bits still attached. This calls for a foaming flagon of... Hold on. Ain't we missing someone? Didn't I tell Utada to wait for us here?
Ooh. Never fear, we've been keeping the girl company.
Yeah, we all know who this is. Miss stole my outfit.
But enough about her. Did you see the cannon on that ship? As you know, my dear Leoford, I am not easily moved, but the sheer power on display set me all a-quiver.
Well, I hope you're content to admire it from afar. That vessel ain't for the likes of you and me.
Do not presume to measure me by your own limitations. Besides, I believe I've shown how resourceful I can be. Which brings me neatly to the point. You have in your possession a device capable of tracking the ghost ship. Hand it over, or your engineer shall suffer the consequences. Perfect. A compass pointing the way to my just reward.
Yeah, and your just reward is running with Diabolos.
A weapon like that belongs in the hands of one who will use it. Come, lads, our business here is concluded. I'm sorry, Captain. They caught me off guard. You get a bang on the head or something? The man I know would never give in to scum like her without a fight. Unless... What did you do to the compass?
Who, me? Not. Besides slipping a link pearl into its case and like. So long as Red Leia keeps it close, and you can be damn sure she will, we'll know exactly what them thieving bastards are planning. Anyone care to wager how long it'll take her to notice me little gift?
That's very clever and all, but how are you proposing to stop her from getting her hands on the derelict and its great big cannon?
I ain't worked out that part yet, but I expect it'll start with us keeping a close eye on the talents. Before we get into any of that, though, I've got some questions what need answering.
You wish to know more about the Void Ark? The ghost ship, as you call it?
A Void Ark. So that's its proper name. I'd like to hear whatever you'd care to tell us, Puss.
And I, for my part, am curious to hear your stories. Ere we continue, however, I must insist that you address me by my proper name, Kate Sith. I will not respond to Puss or Cat, and most decidedly not Furball. My tale begins long, long ago in the city of Mhach, one which once stood in the lands of Yalfin. The sorcerers of Mhach were masters of destructive magics, and they brought that terrible power to bear against Amnapor and Nim in the War of the Magi. Titanic forces that they unleashed, however, took a heavy toll upon the land, ultimately releasing a colossal flood that drowned the realm of Eorzea, a catastrophe which my master, the High Void Mage Caesar, was wise enough to foresee. Wait. Colossal flood? You talking about the Sixth Umbral Calamity? I suppose you would know it as such. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. When they learned of the fate that awaited them, the Mhachhi Magi began constructing a gargantuan vessel that would bear their people to the skies and to safety. The operation of the Void Ark, as the ship came to be called, was entrusted to Caesar. Prior to that, of course, my master had been a prisoner in her own home, confined for her outspoken opposition to the war. So the Ark was meant to be a sanctuary? Then how did it come to be so... what happened to all the people? Where did all the voices come from? By what power do you imagine the massive craft remains aloft? The energy required...
Ceruleum.
No, not ceruleum.
That is certainly the modern answer.
Yes, it is. The energy required to raise the Ark was siphoned from over 1,000 otherworldly void synths sealed within the vessel. Advances in Mhachhi sorcery were made for one reason and one reason alone: cataclysmic destructive power. And the swiftest and most dangerous method of acquiring that power was through the enslavement of void-sent entities. So, the creatures on the derelict, they broke free from your master's control? At the very heart of the Ark, the Void Mages had entombed a great ruler of the Voidsent, Scathach, the Shadow Queen. But in order to control so potent a prisoner, a mage of adamant will was required, and being Mhach's premier sorcerer, Caesar was deemed best qualified. Were it otherwise, my master may never have been released from her own imprisonment. Yet even with Caesar's peerless skill, the Shadow Queen could not be long subjugated. One after another, the lesser voids awoke and ran rampant within the ship. In the end, Caesar and 53 void mages aboard the Ark sacrificed their own life energies to return the fiends to their coffin, leaving me, a lowly familiar, to watch over the derelict prison.
If I remember me Umbrelleras right, the stuff you just described happened more than 1,500 years past, which is a good while by anyone's measure. Since everything seems to have been quiet on board your boat till just recently, I'm thinking somewhat unusual must have happened to wake the inmates up. Am I warm?
One day, a void scent that had taken the shape of a bat flew into the ship. At first, it was little more than a nuisance that I brushed away, but the longer it remained on the Ark, the stronger it seemed to become. Eventually, I could not contend with its power, and it began shattering the seal after seal. You have faced this bat-winged fiend before? It would seem, then, that the creature survived the encounter, and that he intends to celebrate his restoration by liberating his queen. Oops! Sorry!
This might be our fault.
Yeah, Lost City of Andapur, Diablos. Stupid portals.
Well, that explains that then, except for one small detail, namely where the Queen's coffin went. After it fell out of the ship's belly, I'm assuming it didn't just disappear, right?
You recall the great rift that the Ark cannon ripped into the sky? That was a void gate. Such portals open a temporary path through the void, allowing the ship to travel almost instantaneously from one location to another. The void scent, as you saw, only opened the gate large enough to displace the coffin. As for the coffin's destination, however, that much is a mystery to me as to you. I beseech you, conquerors of the Ark, help me find the Queen's coffin ere the ward-binding Sakath are dispelled. Da. Uh-oh. I think he's been bitten by the adventurer bug.
Smells to me like an adventure. Yeah, he's bitten pretty hard. And who knows what this ancient Mhach treasures we might stumble on along the way. Gods know, they'll make a nice change from all them Allegan tombstones we've been collecting. I will help you. I'm not risking me hide for the sake of the realm, you understand. But I'll be damned if I let either Edlia or that bat-winged bastard take the freedom of the skies from me.
You care only for how you might be inconvenienced? If the Shadow Queen were to return, it would have dire consequences for this entire star.
Count your blessings, Furball. I said we'd help it, didn't I?
I told you not to call me Furball!
Before we go rushing off in search of that coffin, though, there's preparations to be made. You might as well get back to your usual heroical employment. I'll let you know when it's time to round up your mates again.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie lookie.
The time is nigh, my dear Talons. Soon we shall seize control of the ghost ship and all its power, and rule the skies from here to the ends of the world. Ooh, money.
Yes. And an achievement.
Paying the bills.
Paying the bills.
Sorry,
And that
Stacia.
will wait.
We'll have to wait. Checking the achievements. Complete the quest to rule the skies. And that gives us the title Sky Pirate! Yarr.
Well, back to the city of tall spires and cold summers. Never mind the winters.
Yeah. And hopefully, a repair person.
Yeah. That might be good. You need it a lot more than I do, but it'd be good.
Just a little. Yeah, I'm sorry. I slept most of the day, so I don't have much to talk about, except for the fact that I slept most of the day.
Isn't that enough? Talk about all the nice comfy sleep you got.
No, it wasn't nice and comfy. I woke up with a very puffy head and I want to crawl back to sleep again.
Now you're trying to take the fun out of sleep. Stop that. Zoomies.
Zoomy zoom zoom!
Unlike what Riley and Theron have been going through lately, which is not zoomies.
No, it's the opposite of zoomies.
Yeah.
So, let me guess. We need to head to the closure.
I would imagine so. It looks like we did technically do things a little off. Apparently there was a single quest in 3.0. Which I suppose maybe we've done, but...
And I assume it's not the one with Nashu.
No, it's not.
She's staring at us. Actually, no, she's staring away from us. That's probably for the best.
Yes.
Don't make eye contact. Do not make eye contact.
Actually, okay, we have done that first one. Well, good. It's probably just a prereq. Yeah, let's get that set of earrings repaired.
Let's get
And
the
see if
earrings
anything
repaired.
else needs it.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Wait, do I really want to be an Ishgard in this outfit?
Don't talk to me about that.
This isn't helping. Say when you're ready.
I'm ready.
This is the fellow we need to talk to, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is actually the 3.15 quest. Contradicting convictions. Mathieu sighs as he looks around for customers. Ah, my dear miss, how fare you these days? Can't say business has been well myself. As you are aware, the church is in a bit of turmoil. It's taking a toll on my profits. Unrest is understandable, yet there are many who are using the confusion to take out their anger on my best customers. Now, I'm not one to get mixed up in politics, but the students of the Scholasticate pay good gill for tomes and feathered quills. One made a request that I'm wont to oblige in order to keep the coin flowing. On behalf of her peers, she told me some disagreeable folk have been following seminarians back to the cathedral, hurling all manner of insults. Easily singled out by their uniforms, they don't feel comfortable walking out in the open these days. That includes around the Kreuzer. If you're inclined to keep an eye out for those who would try to harass the students, I'd ask you to make a round near the road to St. Raymond's Cathedral. If you see anyone starting trouble, do what adventurers do best. Break it up, keep the peace, look intimidating.
Intimidating. I can do intimidating.
Grr.
Very good. Let my fist do the talking.
Yes.
Ah, there's Madeleine and Otterai. Oh dear.
Yeah.
We understand his grievances, but we are mere students of the Holy Word.
Sir, can we not discuss this like civilized men? Our lives are hurt enough without some fresh-faced seminarian rubbing salt into our wounds. Will your precious words repay us for what we've lost? Will they bring back the dead? No, of course not. But as a pupil of the Scholasticate, I cannot forsake the teachings. If you give the book back, I am certain I can show you the proper passage to provide succor in your time of... How dare you! As if the lies in this book will keep us warm at night. Better to destroy it than to be destroyed by it. Hey, wait. Sir? Sir? I absolutely cannot allow you to take that particular tome. Come back!
Is he really going to... Oh no.
Let me guess, it's rare.
You're an adventurer, aren't you? Please, will you help my friend get his tome back? We were on our way back to the Scholasticate when the man accosted us. It has become an unfortunate occurrence these days, but this is the first time someone went so far as to make off with one of our books. The Amosant may mean well, but I fear he will get caught up in a lot more trouble if they outnumber him. I'll go and get help.
You do this. Oh, help is already here.
I'll be fine. The cathedral's not far from here, but please help my friend. His treasures that book more than his life.
Well, they seem to have run quite far.
All the way to the
I
broom.
don't know, could we see this far before? Especially in fog. Because damn, that's looking good.
We could, but it just looks so much more spectacular.
Yeah.
And look at that. The Spires of Ishgard.
Toriel?
Zoom, zoomy, zoom, zoom.
Hmm? Excuse you. Ah, here we go.
And down into the broom.
Of course.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Ben.
I'm warning you, you best not meddle with what you don't know. I know enough. I know enough, I'm gonna meddle. Well, what do we have here? Any ideas on what to do with these three, Ben? Ben? Is that you? My goodness, what are the chances of meeting at a time like this? Please, I would appreciate it if you would ask your friend to produce the tome he's taken from me. Well, Famosant. It's been a while. Careful now. I was in the mood for some light reading, but if you or your friend so much as take a step, your precious tome goes up in smoke. The Parables of Saint Danathan. I know this title. It's the one we read as children. Recall Father Eorzea gave you his own copy before you left the broom for your higher learning. And you know how much it means to me. I made a promise to him to keep its lessons dear to my heart. I've kept it with me ever since. All the more reason to burn it. Scatter the ashes and your dreams along with them. He taught us three the same. Why was I left to rot in this wretched place? Why not you or Lay? What made you two so bloody special? Put the book down, Ben. I'll see you burned as well. Of all the people. You'd best watch yourselves. The world is changing and we won't listen to your lies anymore. I'll make sure of that.
That was a dangerous move.
He knew to smother it. Sacrilegious bastard. It's been badly charred. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you won't get much out of it now. Worry not, Lay. I've already committed the entire text to heart. I'm just happy to have it has been returned to me. Typical. You shouldn't let him off the hook so easily, you know. Were it not that I pity him, I'd hand him over to the Inquisitors without a second thought. You came to help, yes? Were it not for you two, I'm certain they would have turned their hatred towards me soon after. I wish I could pay you for your services, but I'm afraid I live on but a meager stipend, hardly enough for candles and ink. But if you would be so kind as to tell me your names.
I'm Rena. She's Ladonia.
Not sure we get to see that salute that clearly very often. Madam Frith, I am sincerely grateful to you for your protection. I may not have much in the way of coin, but if you are ever in need of spiritual enlightenment, then you need look no further than the cathedral. Loni's blessings be upon you. What one do with a smoldering tome of parables? Will they struggle to abide the lessons of its now blackened words, or rise from its ashes? This answer I eagerly await.
Dun dun dun. The man
Well,
in the
isn't he
shadows.
creepy?
Yeah, it's kind of a modification of Prey. We should have it as an emote. I don't know if we have it just yet. I don't remember which it is, though.
Right. Well, there's more to be done.
Yep. Back to the glacier! I'm sad. I didn't get to beat someone up.
I know. The day is always brighter when you get to beat somebody up. Stay away from Nashu.
Ah. Gatiel? Oh, thank goodness. It's just the adventurers. I beg your pardon, but with all the violence in the streets, I find myself all too wary for those who approach me.
Oh dear. You've returned and not a moment too soon. Students seem less anxious and business has nearly returned to normal. I presume you found who's been harassing them?
Oh dear, not again. Where are the patrols when they are needed?
They've been spread thin from what I hear. Fortunately, these ladies were willing to lend a hand.
I thank you for looking out for the well-being of our pupils. I am Sister Galette of St. Edmund's Scholasticate. And might I ask yours? Oh dear, I know your faces. You are the Madams Frith, the ones who had the hand in revealing the true history of the Holy See.
A bit of that, yes. What? By the... You mean to tell me I've been tasking the Friths as my errand girls? You accepted it with such grace? Loni herself could not have arranged such a curious encounter. She might have.
It's just what we do. On the contrary, I believe our meeting is the product of intervention most divine. Madams Frith, if you would be so inclined, I would like to take you two to meet the headmistress of our humble scholasticate. By your deeds was the light shed on certain inconsistencies in Ishgardian history, and to a lesser extent, the Church's teachings. Needless to say, the resulting controversy has strained the relationship between the people and the clergy. The foundation of our great city-state rests upon wisdom of the Acridion.
Enchiridion, I think.
Enchiridion?
Yeah, it might be a hard bit, so Enchiridion maybe.
Enchiridion. I think it's Dion.
Yeah, Dion. Yeah, true. So many eyes!
Let's try this again. The foundation of our great city-state rests upon the wisdom of the Enchiridion. Alas, the lowborn in particular have suffered greatly as a result of the erroneous interpretations. Some have even begun to wonder if our precepts had thus been distorted. I think the fog is lifting.
Mm-hmm.
We of the Scholasticate are wont to reflect upon the revelations deeper than most. Although we live as scholars, we're grown complacent, accepting a single interpretation set forth by the Archbishop and his predecessors. Although we are openly reevaluating our teachings, our students continue to be targeted by those who feel that they have been deceived. As you yourself have no doubt seen, there are those who would rather purge the city of all the clergy regardless of their guilt. But with you two on our side, surely these miscreants would think twice before harming our students. Pray, come visit our halls. I am certain the students would be put at ease to see you again as well. The benefits of consultation.
Which is the current quest. Oh, my face must be red as a beet at this moment. Well, let me know if you ever feel a burning need to help out again. You have the time, of course. Why does that look familiar? The benefits of consultation. Gatel looks at you with bright eyes.
I must take my leave and return to the cathedral. Mathan, it has been a pleasure. Madams Frith, I sincerely hope you two shall consider my offer to meet with the headmistress. Haloni's blessings be upon you both.
Are we doing anything else tonight?
I think we're speaking to the Scholasticate.
So nothing better to be off doing. Might as well.
Yep. Hello, Wilmot. You have taken an interest in the Scholasticate robes? I remember how I longed for the privilege to wear them, but but now they just make it a clear target for people's angers. I feel more guilt than joy. Aww.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Lector. Madame Frith, yes? Sister Gatel was hopeful you would come and visit. She awaits you inside. Excuse me.
Excuse you.
Oh, we got quite the study room here.
Mm-hmm.
Jinchek? To think there are those who would try to sully the reputation of the church. Meanwhile, I can do not but spend countless hours poring over these books. I still have much to learn about the doctorate, it is true, but the clergy will not be subject to suspicion or ridicule after I take the cloth.
Someone's determined.
Theomorcent?
Madam Frith, it seems Halone has answered my prayer that you would visit our halls. Okay.
Anyone around the backside? Nope.
Doesn't look it.
Ah!
Huh?
Bervanagon.
Where's this?
Behind Gatia.
Bruvagnon, yeah. Fury take me. Must we revise the entire curriculum?
What do you do here?
Well, I do still teach on occasion. My primary responsibilities are now administrative, as I serve directly under Headmistress Eorzea. Her knowledge of the Enchiridion is without peer, and it is well that His Eminence appointed her to oversee the Scholasticate. However, owing to her age, she is unable to attend to all her duties. Her absence is felt most keenly in these chaotic times, when we must re-evaluate the veracity of our entire doctrine. And seminarians and clergy dare not travel unescorted for fear of coming to harm. By the Fury, where in the hells has my nephew got to?
Who's your nephew? Oh, I meant to say what kind of place is this? But seriously, who's your nephew?
Saint Indolum Scholasticate is where God's-fearing men and women come to seek a proper theological education. Traditionally, our seminarians would be expected to study a diverse range of subjects, from the fundamentals of Ishgarian theology to the intricacies of canon law. However, due to the recent revelations concerning church doctrine, we are currently re-evaluating our entire curriculum. At this point in time, it is difficult to say what changes will be made. At the very least, I should expect the Trivium and Quadrivium to remain, but the administration is somewhat divided on other subjects. I have no doubt that the headmistress and I are sensitive to the people's concerns. We wish only to educate and guide them.
Yeah, seriously, who's your nephew?
If you later, Cinny now.
Madame Frith, welcome to the Scholasticate. I appreciate you coming all this way, but I'm afraid the headmistress is not here at the moment. She has taken leave to rest. Forgive me, but I must ask you meet with her another day.
It truly is a pity, as I too was looking forward to her audience with you. Allow me to formally introduce myself. I am Father Bruvagnon. I've heard much about you from Sister Gatel. In the headmistress's absence, I have been charged with tending to myriad administrative matters. While that would ordinarily constitute as simply waxing the seal to a pile of parchments, I've been forced to take a more hands-on approach.
The deputy headmaster and I were just discussing a rather troubling event, which occurred soon after our students' encounter in the broom, and we fear it may be connected. Madame Frith, are you familiar with the statue of Saint Vernoet? I totally butchered that. I'm sorry. Valet-Royan.
Yeah,
think.
Valet Royan. Probably a silent T. It's
Mm.
French.
Yeah, dang French. The one in the center of the forum. House the mild stonemasons have been working on chiseling a new head, and one of our students has been tasked with overseeing the work. Unfortunately, the student has since reported that the piece has vanished from the artist's workshop. Given that there is little monetary value, Father Bouvagon and I cannot help but wonder if...
If the culprit bears a grudge towards his student, Briardian, consulting inspector, at your service.
Oh, hey there!
Adonia, Rena, what brings you here of all places? Don't tell me. You were the hero that the students have been murmuring about. Cannot say I'm surprised.
I don't know, that face was kind of surprised.
Are you acquainted with my nephew, Madam Frith?
Ah, that explains much.
Yes, mine uncle. You could say our paths have crossed. More than once.
He's the smart one.
An idea occurs to me. Adonia and Rena are adventurers of exceptional skill in combat and deduction both. He's only saying that because he's comparing us to Hildebrand.
Yes.
Pray allow me to appoint them as my assistants, no, associates, in my work here at the Scholasticate. A prolonged association is like to raise more than a few eyebrows, if not invite criticism.
While I understand your concern, I'm willing to trust Berardian's judgment. Madams Frith have shown nothing but compassion towards our students. Excuse me. Still recovering.
At least permit me her company in ascertaining the piece's whereabouts. You may judge the value of our association afterwards. Very well. But no one is to speak of this to the headmistress. I will allow Madam Frith to accompany you, but only for the duration of the investigation. For the love of the Fury, be discreet.
Yeah, my fists are very discreet.
Yes. Excellent. Come. Our first course of action will be to question the student responsible for overseeing the statue's restoration.
Yeah, you're related. Checking with Bouvagon.
I pray the Fury will give you the speed to solve this conundrum before the headmistress returns.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. Your friendship with Berardian may be a blessing in disguise. I hope you will find the missing piece soon.
Would be good. Well then. Berardian is getting... Oh, of course it's Theomosant. Suit and white pumice dust. We have our boy. Sure that isn't soot from the book. Madam Frith, a pleasant surprise to see you once more. Praise be to Halone. So you're asking after the statue piece. I made sure to lock the workshop door, so I don't understand how it could have been taken. But worry not. I take full responsibility and will personally see it returned. That won't be necessary. Inspector Briardian, at your service. I am told that you were recently harassed by several ruffians in the Broom. I suspect they may be responsible for this theft. Can you tell me, what can you tell me about these men? Nothing, Inspector. I'd never seen them before in my life, and besides, why would they want to steal the statue piece? It makes no sense. In any event, I said the responsibility is mine and mine alone. And now, if you would excuse me. Admirable sense of responsibility notwithstanding, is clearly hiding something.
Yeah, like one of them grew up with him? Childhood friend?
Ladonia, Rena, I think we may find our answers in Foundation. While I make inquiries in the Broom, I ask that you keep an eye on the Forum. Many miscreants are wont to delight in their misdeeds, and this one may be drawn to the statue.
Ah, there you are.
I will say my biggest disappointment with this chain is I don't think we ever see Briardian again.
No, I don't think we do. He's off doing his bartering thing. At least here, he doesn't have to play straight man to insanity.
Yeah, though.
That's our job.
He was kind of a better character for that. But I still would appreciate seeing him again. Hi, Erica.
Yes, hello. Oh. Yeah, that's about what I thought. Hello, Ben.
You again? Told you not to meddle in my affairs. Away with you! There wouldn't happen to be like a statue head in that box with there? Nah, it's too small. Adam's Frith, how did you... I suppose I should be honest with you. I'm certain the stolen piece is in that crate. I know you're helping the inspector, but I beg you, let me try to reason with Ben first. Ben, please return the statue piece and all shall be forgiven. You do understand the consequences of what you're doing? Defiling a saint's monument is a serious crime. Father Trousseau read us stories at the orphanage. You loved the ones about Saint Valeran. Why do you not wish to see the statue restored? Saint Valeran, an azure dragoon who drew the great worm away from Ishgard. For all we know, that too was a lie. The Holy See and the Bloody Highborn deceived us, Theo. They built their fortunes on our backs, but you would willingly believe those lies if it meant a chance at a better life for yourself. I knew you were the one behind this. You've been following Theo and me ever since we met in the Broom. Be careful. He's not gonna give it up without a fight. Oh no, I don't need to get that ready. Wait, all of you, I still believe Ben will do what's right. There you go again, turning up your nose and spewing shite as if you're one of them. Don't you see, I am doing what's right. ridding us of these false heroes. Keep your bloody head. And your librarian lessons filled with lies. Leave them if you want. You're just as bad as the rest. He's right to be angry. I dreamed of teaching our people to walk in Haloni's grace. But when the scripture itself has been called into question, how am I to find my own way? Whatever should I do?
Forge your own path.
Mm-hmm.
That's what adventurers do.
Yeah, just maybe for you, don't forge your path with your fists. It won't work out.
Aww.
He's not you. My own path? You mean interpret the scripture on my own? Different approach to our faith, to be sure. But mayhap you have the right of it. Forgive me, Ben, but I have come too far to give up now. If Haloni's teachings have been distorted by man's hand, then by man's hand must they be redeemed. That's all well and good, but we won't change Ishgard by standing around in the snow. At least Ben has left us the statue piece. He'd best return it before that prized peacock starts squawking to the deputy headmaster. Will you two come? I'm sure he will appreciate your help in retrieving it. Look, you can't lift that thing between the two of you. Just let us put it in our back pocket.
Yep. I was about to say, do you want me to just carry that on my own? I can carry it above my head.
Back pocket solves all. Doodles.
Let me guess. Caradwin is playing Skyrim with that new wolf mod he got.
What was your first clue?
It's Caradwin.
Yeah, he started a little bit before us. He was coming up on the list of things you might want to watch instead when I was preparing to keep an eye on this.
Pray keep your voice down when you're inside the Scholasticate.
Yeah, it's kind of a library in there. And one unnamed person out in the shelves. One lady who's studying is gone, so we just have our little gathering.
And one person studying.
Like I said, one unnamed... huh?
No, she's...
Oh, yeah, there is somebody at a table.
Yep. Veridian.
Missed her at first. I was going to start at Lay.
Oh, we can start at Lay.
They already explained everything. We recovered the statue piece, and that's what matters. Well, that is that. All's well that ends well, yes? I see you found the boy in the missing statue piece. Care to share with us the details? No? Madam Frith, I see you've returned as well. Leigh and Theomosend have just finished explaining to me what happened. I thank you for your help in resolving this matter swiftly. There appears to be something missing. Pray tell, what became of the suspect? Surely these two wish to seek justice for the theft. Trying to think of who that is.
I think that'll be you.
Those two will tell you not, Inspector, for they are the culprits whom you seek. Oh, yeah, okay. Allow me to shed some light on this troubling situation. As a son of House Zamel, it pained me to learn that our artisan's precious work had been spirited away. So I saw fit to conduct my own investigation. I followed Lay at a distance, only to find him and his friend consorting with the culprit. Camaraderie among orphans of the broom is to be expected, but to steal a saint's head so that they may retrieve it to prove their merit. In such desperation that they would desecrate a tome in this manner. You would expect a seminarian to treat any holy text with the utmost care, even if they are but children's stories. Piss off, you priggish whoreson. Donia and Rena were there. They'll tell you you're wrong. Enough. You will all conduct yourselves with decorum as befits seminarians. Lay, we will discuss penance for your foul language anon. Father Pruvagnan, if I may, the next time the Scholastica portions work with the sacred monuments, pray entrust the task to me. I'm certain the artisans of my house would be at ease knowing their work was in cleaner, more dependable hands. And as for my ignoble peers, if the comprehension of advanced scripture is still beyond you such that you require a tattered tome of children's lessons, then allow me to procure for you a new copy with mine own coin. You need not thank me. House Zamel prides itself on its charity to the deprived.
Ain't he special?
My tome, if you would... How long are you planning to lie there? No, these two.
Yes, these two. You're completely hopeless.
It's been way too long.
Aww.
Time to sail some ships!
Toot toot.
Thank you, Blaze.
Oh!
Those two are
dear.
perfect for each other.
Oh dear!
Yep.
I think they modified that from the original. That was quite the blush.
Yes, it was. This is what happens when you let him walk all over you. It'll be a miracle if we're not branded heretics by the end of this term. Lay, the innocent, consider this a warning. You were saved this time solely by Madame Frith's integrity and the grace of the Fury. but I will not turn a blind eye if you continue to fraternize with questionable company. The insurmountable wall between highborn and lowborn. I wonder, did our ancestors build it brick by brick, or was it fate which drove us apart? And where shall we go from here?
Dun dun dun.
And...
Guardian?
Yep. Excellent work. I had no doubts that you would rise to the challenge. Thank
I
you.
didn't do
You
anything!
haven't done anything.
My fists are sad.
They were bad and your fists are sad?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Madam Frith, I must apologize for the behavior of my students. They have been at each other's throats since the revelations came to light. As for your performance, you've surpassed my expectations. I will allow you to assist Briardian in his work at the Scholasticate. Well done. If I may be so bold, Uncle, though I have but arrived, and this is the only case you've had me investigate thus far, I must say that I found it rather a waste of my talents. While theft is indeed a serious matter, I cannot help but wonder if this was merely some pretense. Surely you have a more pressing problem. An astute observation. I expected nothing less. There is indeed another matter I should discuss with you and your newly appointed associates. Balancing the spear.
Oh, I checked Rarian.
Oh, well, I can do that. I suspected there was more to this, judging by how quickly we completed the investigation. No offense to your powers of deduction, of course.
None taken. I have no powers. I only have my fists.
Balancing the spear. Ravagnon is ready to say what is really on his mind.
You'd be amazed at what can be accomplished by the threat of pugilation.
I'd better start from the beginning. But not due to involve Madame Frith with our affairs without first ensuring they possess a proper understanding of how our seminary functions and how we have been forced to change. You see, most men and women of the cloth go on to live fulfilling lives as pastors, academics, and poets. However, those who graduate from the Scholasticate with the highest marks are given an opportunity to serve in the vault and perhaps one day rise to prominence. The stakes are quite high for those who seek such prestige, for they know full well that their academic performance may determine their future. It is they who strive for the top 3 seats that are granted the Scholasticate's official endorsement, the Trinity. And so those who wish to guide Ishgard's faithful spend their days spend their days accumulating marks through academic pursuits, while at the same time honing their skills to persuade others to share their interpretations of the scripture. Up until now, it resulted in no more than the occasional lively debate, for the Holy See was ultimately responsible for dictating doctrine. Ranking was naturally determined by one's familiarity with said doctrine. However, in light of recent events, that is no longer an option. Simply put, we cannot currently assess their academic performance in the traditional manner, as a significant portion of the curriculum has been called into question. As a result, we've been forced to consider more subjective methods. And in this time of uncertainty, students are wont to lash out at their peers, whom they fear will exploit this interim system to their advantage. Distressing, I suppose, but what does this have to do with us? I require your unparalleled skills of observation and deduction. The only way to put an end to this bickering between students is to ensure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that our interim evaluations are conducted in a fair and equitable manner. I ask you to stand as an observer. Until a new curriculum is decided, our evaluation system is vulnerable. In other words, you want us to catch the cheaters. Precisely. Now then, I have received word that the headmistress has returned to her office in the cathedral. I would ask that you introduce yourselves. But there is something you should keep in mind when speaking with Headmistress Elviane. She was appointed to her position by the former Archbishop. Thus, her views on the curriculum are quite traditional. I would advise you to discuss matters regarding the Holy See with the utmost care. Yeah, we'll try to avoid mentioning that we're the cause that everything's in an uproar.
By the way, where is this supposed to break for the patch?
You'll know.
Okay.
I think one more quest after this one.
Okie dokie.
Let me actually double check things just to make sure, but... Oh yes. But as I recall, the story makes a rather noticeable break at one point, and that should be it.
Mm-hmm. There's Baradian.
Although Uncle said we should speak with care, we would be remiss in our duties if we refrain from asking difficult questions. I trust you agree.
I'll let you do the asking. I'll just stand there and look.
Please.
This one's you.
Yeah. We've been expecting you. The headmistress awaits you within. Use you. Headmistress Elviane, may I have the pleasure to introduce the individuals who shall be in charge of keeping order in the Scholasticate. This is Consulting Inspector Briardian and his associates, Ladies Frith.
Rena Frith, Ladonia Frith. I must say, Father Bruvagon, your selections are rather appropriate. We thank you both for your service in this time of need.
Don't mention it, please.
I entrust that Father Bruvagon has briefed you on our humble seminary, Saint Adelam's Scholasticate has produced Ishgard's finest clergy for centuries, including countless men and women who have served in the high echelons of the Holy See.
All of whom were spared a brutal death on the battlefield in the service to a misguided war they perpetuated. Or so some might be given to say.
Some might. And they would not be entirely mistaken. For while we, wholly unaware of the deception perpetrated by the archbishops, we did unwittingly sustain it, to our sorrow. The idea that we willingly subjugated them to false precepts is, of course, preposterous, a contrived fantasy. Nevertheless, some fervently believe it true, and these selfsame individuals have come to view our instructors and students as targets for their misguided anger. It is of paramount importance that we restore faith in the teachings. Yet how are we to regain the trust of the common man when our own seminarians are embroiled in childish quarrels?
You refer to this tension regarding the interim evaluation system. Quite frankly, it is but one facet. Classes have also been suspended until we complete our own painstaking review of the curriculum. Some students have taken leave, while the more dedicated have taken it upon themselves to conduct independent work to demonstrate their merits.
We cannot allow this situation to continue indefinitely. Graduation is approaching, and we must make our recommendations. But the senior class is divided. They know not how they will be evaluated.
Rather, they understand how they will be evaluated, but have no faith that our methods will produce a fair result. A concern not without merit, I must confess. I do suspect that some may be driven to manipulate the interim system to their advantage.
I expect some have already tried. But that is why we have brought in outside observers. Inspector Baradian, Renifreth, Ladonia Freth. If anyone is engaging in unscrupulous behavior, I should have it brought to an end at once. May the fairy guide you in your task.
Stoic nods all around. Well,
Such a noise?
so the headmistress also thinks some of the students have attempted to cheat.
Surely one who desires to join the clergy would not be foolish enough to stoop to such behavior. The fairy knows all and sees all.
Now then, before we proceed, might you both tell us a little about your students, Father... My apologies, I'm Father Saturnah. In addition to teaching the fundamentals of Hellenic polity, I also oversee fundraising for the stipends of underprivileged students. While I would like to help you, I think my opinion would not do them justice. I would suggest getting to know them yourselves.
I feel the same. The way in which pupils speak in front of their instructors is not the same as amongst themselves. In my 10 years of counseling, they have minded their etiquette and are not but cordial to me. However, I can recommend one of my students who is quite vocal. Mayhap you can try speaking with the dormitory prefect, Archambalden. Given his closeness to the students' social affairs, he may also be able to give you insight into what they are talking about.
Archambaddon. Ah, yes, the silver-haired boy. Son of House Zamel, as I recall. We shall heed your suggestion, Sister Gatel, given his duty and status. Considering that they don't have you running halfway across the Eorzea, these quests are not short.
Yes. Pray keep your voice down when inside the Scholasticate.
Aha.
Bruva Guardian first?
Yeah. Fury take me. Must we revise the entire curriculum?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you said
okay.
that before.
Use back to that.
Guardian?
Okay. While I have little interest in noble bloodlines, I am not unfamiliar with the Count de Zamel's sons. It'd be hard not to be.
Le Brassoi?
So Lay's lackey is helping the inspector now.
I'm
not
no one's
his
lackey.
Has no one ever told you that brandishing weapons is frowned upon in places of enlightenment? Yeah, but you're de-enlightening this place all by yourself.
Good
That is unless
one.
Lay to stir up more trouble. Rest assured that my associate inspector draws her armaments only to resolve troublesome situations, not to create them. We merely came to ask of your well-being and your expectations for the future. Under the auspices of the headmistress, I'm sure. Very well. I, Le Brasseur de Bonfant of House Bonfant, in service to House Zamel, present to you Hareband de Zamel. As prefects for the Scholastic dormitory, we are responsible for keeping the peace between our fellow seminarians. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you not the foreigners who went to rather great lengths to expose the Archbishop's falsehoods? Responsible for the re-evaluation of the entire curriculum? Well, that's kind of a side effect. Quite the resolution, that. And for what? Every great nation's history is marred by the sins of the past. Alamigo, Ulda, Lemza, please. Each was built on a foundation of lies and blood. Which is not to say that we elites should not learn from these mistakes. But we who have served as shepherds of the people for 1,000 years have a duty to maintain order through the preservation of tradition. Would a Wainwright cast aside his father's best cart when it has but a broken wheel? Indeed. Hareband and I have said as much to those who support a more radical approach. The last thing we need is young seminarians running about crying for reformation. I see. So you both have been quite active in convincing the other students to see things your way. How have you fared? 'Tis hardly a daunting task. Many seek comfort and consistency. Sister Gaetel has tasked us with bringing back the students who took leave. Why not let our results determine how persuasive we are? I thank you, gentlemen, for your cooperation, and wish you the best of luck with your efforts. Now then, Ladonia, Rena, if these students are bringing back their truant peers, there must be others who are doing the same. Let us split up and seek out the participants.
You two play nice.
By the grace of the Count de Zamel, I was admitted to the Scholastic Hit, that I might remain by Hareband's side. He is the sun which shines the light of truth throughout these halls, and I am but the moon which reflects his radiance. Well, aren't you a suck-up? In addition to preserving the other students' welfare, we prefects also take it upon ourselves to conduct study sessions and volunteer activities, so that all may receive of a rich and fulfilling education.
My main problem is what lackey dreams of no longer being a lackey?
Now, the main example of that would be Starscream.
Yeah, well. Thanks, Japan. Didn't see that one coming. Smiling Seminarian. You two came to hear Crumboy speak? The wisdom of a scholar with the soul of a poet. When he recites scripture, I just...
Somehow, I don't think it's the scholar and the poet parts she's concentrating on.
Can't you talk with him another time? I finally got his attention, and I'd rather you not interrupt. Fangirls.
A new exotic flower graces us with her presence today. Well met, my dear.
And what am I? Chopped liver? Humph. He was looking at me until you showed up.
Ah, I see. So you're helping Inspector Briardian. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Cremavoy de Matigny, and you may address me simply by my first name. So what brings you to the Pillars? Could it be you're to observe how we go about convincing truant seminarians to return? Then by all means, let me show you how it's done. Were we that obvious?
I must admit, I find many of the other students rather intimidating, but thanks to Cremavoy, I'm considering returning to the Scholastic to resume my studies. We were just discussing the responsibility of Highborn have to redress the imbalance of the furious love all men receive, and by the balance of her spear will all be set free. So it is written in volume 11 of the 72 Articles of Hellenic Policy.
Keep this in mind, there's going to be a quiz later. Possibly in like 4 patches.
Yeah.
Equal under her ever-watchful gaze. Ah, would that you graced our halls with your presence once more. I might favor you with mine own gaze. I fondly recall seeing your lovely face always buried in that tome.
Oh, Cremavoy, you did notice. I thought to pen a lengthy treatise on it, but I could not make do once the volume vanished.
Okay, maybe the quiz is now.
No, actually, the quiz started this off initially.
Oh, so you help ultimates by searching for that tome. Oh, great, I thought that was the later part. Okay. Wow, I've gotten that mixed up. With how relevant the content has become these days, I suppose it is not surprising it would go missing.
Wanda Parchifont is distressed in your direction. You should know better. In any event, you're convinced me. I'll gather my things and return to the dormitory straight away.
Yes, that is the way. One must seize the moment and act upon one's convictions. Life is but a fleeting, fragile thing. Wouldn't you agree, my dear? Well, I have done my part in guiding my little lamb back to the flock, and now to celebrate with a well-deserved nap, I bid you both farewell.
Thank you, Orca. I am feeling better. I still am coughing a bit.
But not nearly as often.
And I'm still having sleep issues, which makes me very, very grumpy because it's hard to get work done when I'm wanting to zonk out constantly.
That was me a little bit ago. It has gotten better.
Hello, Theo. Lay? Any luck?
Dunya, Rena, it's good to see you. Fighting the good fight lately?
With my fit!
Disappointingly, no.
Unfortunately, I haven't been allowed to hit anything. I am disappointed.
Oh, hello. Lay and I were just about to visit our friends in Foundation and try to convince them to return to their studies. It's been difficult since we aren't exactly held in high regard right now. Dormitory prefects made sure of that. We must do all in our power to motivate our friends to come back to the Scholasticate. Then we can strive for high marks together. Right. And then we can convince our peers that we are just as worthy as any highborn in the clergy. They will welcome us with open arms and all will be well in Ishgard. If Archambadan and his cronies receive this Scholasticus endorsement, no one will ever listen to us. We can't let them take the Trinity. I'd rather not think of it that way, Lay. Let us just focus on bringing back as many people as we can. Well, that's how the Highborner's thinking about it. The more vocal we become, the more they will see us as a threat. That's why we have to stick together.
And we are running slightly over time, but we're really close to the end here.
Well, maybe to the end of this quest.
Well, yeah. Boo.
Yeah, we should be. Yeah, we will not finish this until next week.
Aw. I understand, but aw.
Yeah.
This way.
But we're not short quests.
No, this was a long, very talky chain.
Yes. And we are not done with the talking.
But it's a lot of good lore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a bit nippy up here. Yes, keep voice down. We got it. Oh, there's a,
Oh, there's a crowd.
Let's say?
Talking of being talky.
All these people are making me nervous. I mean, I was not able to bring anyone back, so I'm not even part of the competition. But even so, I hope that Theo did well. Jenchet? Curious about the results? I cannot imagine why. I see no reason to expect anything surprising.
Kremavois? With all the young women returning, mayhap I will have more incentive to linger in the library. But I do not see Ula. If our performance is to be taken into account for the final rankings, then I must say Archambadan and I have nothing to worry about. After reviewing the preliminary numbers at the dormitory, I'm looking forward to the results. Dormitory rat has quite the smile on his face. Could it be that he was able to gather more students than us? Well, I did everything I could. Even if I did not guide them all myself, I'm glad that so many of our peers have come back. Get hell?
We shall announce the results anon.
It would seem Archambadan and Lebrasseur had quite the advantage, given their experience managing the dormitory. Right then. Let us see how competitive these students truly are.
Dun dun dun.
It brings me joy to see so many of our brothers and sisters returned to the Scholasticate. Sister Gitel, the floor is yours.
Thank you all, Archibaldin. I will now announce how many of our stray sheep each student persuaded to come home. Both Theo and Lay were able to bring back one student each. Jenchet guided 2 back into our arms. Archibaldin and Lebrasseur were each able to convince 3 students to return. Most of all, excellent work, all of you. What about the student Kramvoy convinced to return? Oh, is this true? Are we missing someone from the Count?
At least one, it would seem. The girl you speak of is formally withdrawn from the Scholasticate. Apparently, she was not all that enthusiastic about returning as she led Kremovoy to believe. Perhaps she chose to play along so he would cease his harassment. Perhaps it was for the best. She really engaged her fellow students, instead choosing to sit alone and read the articles of Hellenic polity. Given the recent revelations, I suspect she became disillusioned with the faith. Strange you would say that, Libressa. When last I spoke with her, Ula was quite interested in Volume 11's equal under her ever-watchful gaze passage. One that you and your master would sooner pretend did not exist. She were the victim of harassment. I rather expect it was at your hands. Are you implying that we had something to do with it because we did not share her views? What rot! You dishonor yourself and your house with such baseless accusations. Rather you would if aught remained of your house to dishonor. I yield, good sir, I yield. I lack the qualities of the Honorable Lord Archambadan possesses, which enable him to deliver such observations. Well, Ula has withdrawn, and I must mourn her departure by walking through the dormitory halls, citing excerpts from Volume 11. And how do you intend to do that? Volume 11 of the Articles of Hellenic Polity has been missing for some time now. The tomes themselves are inconsequential if one has taken the words to heart. How fortunate that we are that the wisdom of our forebears not so easily forgotten. Would you not agree? Such impudence as befits a sixth son. For all his failings, his father was wise to send him away. At any rate, we are blessed that this handful of truants is returned to us. Truly, it is the Fury's will that we overcome these trials and tribulations, and move forward with a singular vision for the future. A student with a keen interest in a controversial precept who withdraws without explanation. This seems rather odd to me as well. Mayhap it is worthy of our attention.
And we must needs break here.
Yes, Cerebriardium.
Yeah, if you need us, we'll be down for the next week over at the Forgotten Night. Drinking. Lots. Hopefully some mulled cider. Mulled cider would be really good right now.
And who knows, maybe you'll get lucky and a bar fight will break out.
Ooh! Yay! That would be awesome! At least until the, town guard show up. Rena is so bloodthirsty. Why pugilist? I just don't understand. It was never meant to be for her, but she's like, no, I'm going to be pugilist. You
She's a
can't
bum
stop
that
me.
knows what she wants.
I want something?
Yes, to punch things.
Yay! I get to punch things?
Probably not for, well, over a week.
Can I at least have some mulled cider?
Ask the barkeep.
Oh, look, they have drinks out for us already. Woohoo!
They knew to expect us.
Yes. Yeah. And now we've met the cat, Kate. Yes.
Yes,
Ah,
the king of the cats.
I think it's bedtime. I don't know about you.
I thought it was drinking time,
Ooh.
at least until it was punching time.
Woohoo! Punching time. With that said, it is time to call it a night. Thank you all very much for coming along. We will be back tomorrow night for more fun with Theron and Rylea as they continue to make their way through Tuliolau? No, that's the city. We're in Tyrol.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh,
I
we
don't
can raid
remember
to
this
Caradwin?
name.
Let's see if we can do that.
You still going then?
I don't know. Let's check. I'm not sure. Can we raid? Let's see, I believe the command is /raid. How do we spell Caradwin's name correctly?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I can tell you plenty of ways to spell it incorrectly.
Let's see if this will allow it. Do. Okay, it said raid, but it didn't go off. There's the button. Okay, everybody. With that said, go have fun watching Caradwin. We will see you tomorrow night. Be
Yes,
safe, all.
everyone, have a great night. We'll see you Monday at 9:30 Pacific for Dawn Trail.
Indeed.